overpriced bike tech that nobody asked for, new wheel sizes that nobody asked for, and new rules that nobody asked for. Yes, loads to talk about this week, including some brand new Sidi shoes and loads more besides. But we start with the rather shocking news that drop handlebars have been banned by the Lifetime Grand Prix in 2 mountain bike races in the US. And this follows hot on the heels of the launch by Pinarello of a drop bar mountain bike just last week at the Belgian bike show Velo Follies. The ban applies to just 2 mountain bike races. The Leadville, an iconic long-running, long-distance, high-altitude mountain bike race that's still on my bucket list, and Little Sugar. It's been done apparently for rider safety and course compatibility, whatever the heck that means, and apparently pushed by the athletes themselves, including last year's winner on a drop bar mountain bike, no less, Keegan Swinton. Oh, the irony. And it does raise many questions. Is a ban a good thing? Could we see other race organisers, could we see the UCI embrace the same rule for gravel events to head off a potential surge of interest in drop bar mountain bikes, as we saw Pinarello just last week in Belgium at the Velo Follies show launch a drop bar mountain bike? Does it mean bikes like that are dead in the water if such prestigious races like Leadville can't be raced on those bikes? Or will other organisers be more laid back about what bike you ride, a mountain bike or a gravel bike? And should the choice of bike and the shape of the handlebars be dictated by the course and the rider's preference and not the organisers of the event? And will more organisers follow suit? And it is a tricky one because sometimes rules stifle innovation and remove that freedom to experiment and try different configurations. But sometimes rules do create a better, more level playing field. And one discipline that comes to mind is CX or cyclocross, which has a very arcane rule around the width of the tyres at 33 millimeters wide, which does seem crazy in today's era of wide tyres, but does create a level playing field for all competitors in that discipline. There aren't many rules in gravel yet around tyre width and other aspects of bike design. And mountain bike is also free from such constraints compared to road racing, where there are very prescriptive rules. So is it the start of a new onslaught of rules in the gravel world? Because the last few years we have seen gravel explode in different directions and the bike change beyond belief with wide tyres, mountain bike tyres, suspension forks, and mountain bike with drop handlebars. And I do enjoy seeing athletes really experiment with bike setup and that merging and cross-pollination of bikes, which I think is exciting to see. Not being held back by rules, but here the rules do prescribe a certain bike. So is it a good thing? I don't know. In some ways, yes. In some ways, no. And I guess the impact will be an interesting one to watch and witness over the next 12 months on those races and other races, and whether organisers embrace, adopt the same rules, and whether the UCI also adopt the same rules. So I don't think this is the end of this debate, this saga. So one to watch for sure this year. What do you think? Let me know by dropping a comment down below. The start of a new year means the start of a new race season and the start of new wild speculation around new bikes being launched this year. And kicking off the room mill this week is a apparently new Cannondale SuperSix Evo. Bike Radar and other media have reportedly spotted a new bike being raced at a tour down under. And to be honest, looking at photos, and the photos aren't great quality at all, it looks the same as the old bike. So whether it's actually a new bike remains to be seen, because from those photos, it doesn't look like much has changed, which I would suggest is not the new bike in the photos, or the new bike is more or less the same as the old bike with a few revisions here and there. I speculated before that there might be a new SuperSix Evo because the current 4th generation bike is 3, near 4 years old, and bike manufacturers work to a 3 or 4 year model cycle. So 26 is in line with that model cycle update. So a new SuperSix Evo, the 5th generation coming out this year, would be an easy bike to see launch. I have no information, no inside line to Cannondale, so I'm none the wiser. I'm in the same situation as you in terms of when that bike is launching and what's new about it. And what's new about it? Well, from the photos, it's hard to tell. It looks the same. So I guess it would be, I would guess it'd be lighter, because lighter is always good. The aero, given the photos look the same as the old bike, it's probably about the same. I mean, it was a good aero bike before. It wasn't a dog of a bike in the wind time of testing, so probably similar aero. We could see a UDH dropout on the back for compatibility with new group sets, the same threaded bottom bracket, the same internal routing, probably the same tyre clearance. And the other change I think people are hoping to see is a slightly revised geometry. The Gen 3 went to a slightly higher stack than Gen 2, so a slightly racier lower stack would be good to see on what is essentially a race bike. I think the SuperSix Evo has always been a fantastic bike. I still own an original, always been a good race bike, and the current model is that sort of tarmac S-Late blend of weight and aero. The last model launched 3 years ago was a good bike, and it's a good bike, but it seemed to go under the radar a bit compared to the tarmac S-Late from Specialized, the Trek Madone SLR, the Canyon Air Road, and the Cervelo S5. So hopefully the new version won't go the same way as that bike and get more attention, which it definitely deserves. So hopefully the new bike, if it is a new bike, will put the bike back in the spotlight and remind people that's a great bike, and see if it can shift the needle a bit compared to other very good race bikes in the world right now. So yeah, Rysel grabbed all the headlines last week with their crazy, futuristic, sci-fi Robocop E road bike debuted at Velo Follies in Belgium, but they also showed some brand new shoes which aren't commercially available at all, just a concept. But my goodness me, are they mad? Are they futuristic? Are they sci-fi or what? So yeah, they look crazy. There's no pedals, there's no laces. It's a total rethink about how a shoe pedal foot interface works, as a pedal becomes part of the shoe, and the closure system is powered by a SRAM AXA battery. As if bikes needed more batteries, there's now a battery on the shoe. And they're supposedly aerodynamic as well, with a NACA profile on the top. And they look amazing, they look mental. But remember, they're not commercially available, you can't buy them, so don't be too outraged. It's just a vision of the future, just a designer let off a leash to reimagine how a shoe pedal, that whole interface could work. Pushing the envelope to imagine what products, bikes, technology could be like in the future. So yeah, they look mad. I wouldn't say they look pretty, and they're not commercially available, so you can't buy them, so don't get too outraged. There's no price on them. They're not saying these are the future right now, it's just a vision of the future. So yeah, and what it's doing for Van Rysel is marketing. It's showing to the world that Van Rysel is pushing forward, imagining what the next generation or generation after of bikes and shoes and technology could be like, and doing what car brands have always done in the past, really pushing the boundaries, showing mad concepts that may one day influence the products we buy tomorrow. So yeah, pretty exciting, pretty cool, pretty bonkers, pretty daft. I mean, who wants batteries on their shoes anyway? But yeah, let me know what you think by dropping a comment down below. Sticking with madcap, overpriced cycling products, something for people to get outraged at in the comment section are the brand new Rudy Project glasses. They are 3D printed from titanium, which is, as far as I know, a world first, and look amazing, but cost 950 euros. Yes, 1,000 euros for a pair of cycling glasses. But don't worry, you probably can't buy them because they're limited to just 100 pairs to celebrate the company's 40th anniversary. But what a birthday present to yourself. They are the craziest pair of glasses I've ever seen. I think they actually look kind of cool, but I think they look right. So yeah, I wouldn't mind wearing them, but 1,000 euros, ouch. Let's talk big wheels, because at the Velo Follies show in Belgium last week, there was the future of wheel sizes on display. If you follow any mountain bike media, you might have heard the buzz, the hype around 32-inch wheels possibly becoming the next big thing, literally next big thing. And on the Schwalbe stand, the tyre manufacturer stand at the show, they had a gravel bike with new 32-inch gravel tyres. So lots of talk about 32-inch being a new standard. But do we need another wheel size standard? Probably not, but the claimed benefits are improved rollover, so more speed, a smoother ride over rough ground, more stability as well, and better for taller riders as the wheels are proportionally better on a bigger frame for a taller rider. But downsides are more weight, bigger tyres, bigger wheels, bigger frame, more weight, sluggish at low speed and less agile and nimble in the turn. So some pros and some cons based on the theory of bigger wheels, the same as when we went from 26 to 27.5 to 29 on the mountain bike world, and road wheels are 700C, which is effectively 29 inch, so the same. I don't really know where the movement for bigger wheels is coming from, whether it's just a cynical move by bike companies to sell new bikes and create a new standard to force people to rush out and buy a new frame, new wheels and new tyres to embrace this new standard. So whether it's actually better, it might be better. When 29 came along in the mountain bike world, it's very slow to catch on, with Gary Fisher pioneering the geometry of their bikes. Lots of people are very cynical about the bigger wheels, but now they're pretty much standard, and it took a long time to go from 26 to 27.5 to 29, but all mountain bikes now are largely on 29 inch wheels. And it's taken quite a while to get to a point in the gravel market where there's loads of tyre choice. And we've had the whole 650 versus 29 700C debate, and that didn't last very long. And 650 has gone extinct, and 29 has stuck because there are mountain bike tyres and wheels that fit those wheels and tyres and frames. So I don't really know what to make of it. I don't think we need a new wheel size standard. I think we're quite happy with the wheels and tyres we have right now. I don't think we need to have another debate, argument around the best wheel size for any bike and any application. So yeah, while I'm open-minded to innovation and new ideas, and I've not tried these new wheels and tyres, and it may be a game changer, I'm not sure we need this happening right now. And finally, I'm super happy and delighted to once again be supported this year by Sidi shoes. They've been sponsoring the channel for the last few years, and I wear their shoes and all my bike reviews here on Just Ride Bikes, and their continued support means a lot. So thanks Sidi for Saddleback in the UK. And they sent me some new shoes to brighten up my day, ready for spring and summer. And loads of reason to be excited for Sidi this year. The Italian brand is iconic and legendary for its race performance shoes, worn by loads of the best Tour de France winners over the years, but now with loads of changes. Firstly, a brand new logo, which features on the boxes and the shoes. It's quite different to their, quite a departure from the old logo, maybe take some getting used to, but definitely looks modern and contemporary. Other changes include a new Millennium fit. Basically, they're wider than before. Sidi shoes have always been on the narrow side, and you either got on with them or you didn't, but now more people can get on with them as they're wider than before. And for me, that meant I've gone down half a size from 45 to 44.5. So definitely worth checking before you try them, before you buy them, I mean, to make sure they fit you well. And other changes too, there's more new shoes coming down the pipeline in the future. There are continued models in their range, like the Short, the Ergo 6 and the Genius 10, which I have here, with some updates and more changes coming soon as well. But firstly, we had the Genius 10, a long running shoe in the company's range, now in its 11th generation. Lightweight microfiber supple upper, perforation, a nice carbon composite sole that gives a stiffness rating of 6 out of 12. So not super stiff, sort of mid-level stiffness, so good for all-day comfort, a good mid-range to high-end shoe. So lightweight, plenty of stiffness, and one big change being the improved dials. So the Ergo 6 here, which is a high-end, high-performance shoe with a stiffer carbon sole, 11 rating out of 12, and a lighter weight upper and a lighter weight shoe, and stiffer and really supple, with 2 dials versus 2 dials and one sort of strap over the top. So this is a running update with a new logo, but the old dials, which work by you press that tab there, and then press the 2 buttons to release the tension, and then wind that in. And they work really well, very intuitive, very secure. The new dial is an improvement, a evolution. And to release tension, much easier, press that tab, release the tension, and then you flip that lever up and you wind it in. And it's more compact, more streamlined, they're smaller, and does look better and more modern than the old dials. So same shoes, same technology, wider fit, and improvement coming down the line, so like new dials. I imagine these will get these new dials in the future as well. So yeah, loads of reason to be excited by Sidi this year in a very competitive market. But Sidi have an amazing legacy and heritage for performance shoes, really well made shoes. And these updates, I think, are a good thing. New logo, new look, and a new Millennium fit, and new dials. So I'll be wearing these in my bike review videos going forward, and I'll do some impression videos on how they perform over the next few months. So stay tuned for more on these. And find out more about Sidi at the Sidi website, link down below. But that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again very soon.